WJBF Live Viper 6, a pretty good looking radar. No rain across the CSRA, but showers and strong thunderstorms to our north, dropping south out of the upstate our direction. You're watching WJBF News Channel 6, where you get your most accurate forecast first. Coming up tonight, as we head towards 8 o'clock, partly to mostly cloudy, showers, a couple thunderstorms, northern counties, temps at 76.
Friday night, and the threat of flooding is still with us.
We are standing by with Team 6 coverage. Everything you need to know as our season of saturation continues.
I'm George Espin. Augusta, where the Savannah continues to put on a show, and the Corps of Engineers alerts the city that this could be going on for weeks. That story coming up.
I'm Architect Chaudry in Columbia County. The impact from all the rains out here in the Savannah Rapids. We'll have that report coming up.
I'm Barclay Bishop. As the floodwaters continue to rise and history is made in the CSRA, how your pictures can help to prevent a mess like this from ever happening again. Your News at 6 starts right now.
Live from Television Park in high definition, coverage you can count on. This is WJBF News Channel 6 at 6.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Jenny Montgomery.
I'm Brad Means. Thanks for joining us.
Another day filled with the threat of heavy rains and rising water.
Boy, News Channel 6 has been all over it all day long. Coverage coming your way right now includes Augusta getting set to respond. Top brass meeting today to tackle any storm-related situation.
The water turns deadly as a body is found in a local pond. We'll have that update for you.
We are also in South Carolina, where water watching has become a bit of a spectator sport. People turning out to take in the sights that Mother Nature is delivering lately.
Dealing with flooding is one thing. How about dealing with slithering serpents hanging out in trees? Apparently it's happening in places where the water is too high.
And Live Viper 6 is tracking it all. Our radar system tells you what happens from here. And coverage all the time is on our website at WJBF.com.
And as always, it starts with the News Channel 6 weather team.
George Myers and John Lynn standing by right now to bring us up to speed on all these storms. Gentlemen?
Well, the weather continues to cause problems across the CSRA, and as you take a look at our WJBF Live Viper 6, at the moment we're in pretty good shape. The Viper showing dry skies across Georgia, Carolina after some tremendous rains last night and early this morning. But wait a second, to the north you'll see a line of strong storms stretching right down I-85 from Spartanburg to Greenville, crossing the state line into Atlanta, and these storms are slowly dropping off to the south and southeast, and some have been severe. You can see severe thunderstorm warnings right now in Spartanburg County, as well as in Anderson County and in Hart County. Hopefully these storms will die down in their intensity over the next half hour or so. They're about 25 minutes as we head 25 minutes away from our northern counties of McCormick, Lincoln, and Wilkes County. So keep an eye to the northern counties as some severe weather is to your north coming your direction. Now, last night, heavy rains across our southern counties of Allendale, Bamberg, and Barnwell counties. John Lynn has the latest on some of those rainfall totals. John?
That's right, George, and we do want to mention we still have a few counties under a flood warning, that being Richmond and Aiken County, all the way until Sunday evening at 8 o'clock. So be aware of that. First of all, let's talk about the rainfall estimates that we've seen over the last 24 hours. Again, we had a record-setting rainfall month for the month of June. Center. Take a look anywhere from Richmond County, Aiken County, from Saluda south into Barnwell, even into southeastern Burke County, Jenkins County, Bamberg, and Allendale, seeing anywhere from 2 to 4 inches, and right there on the Barnwell and Allendale County line, anywhere from 4 to 6, maybe even 7 to 8 inches of rain in that little cluster right there on the Barnwell and Allendale County line. So once again, we just cannot hold any more rainfall. Once again, the month of June was a record breaker as far as rainfall was considered, and it looks like July is well on its way to be a record-breaking month as well. So far for the month of July, we've seen over 5.5 inches of rainfall, and this gives us a surplus for the month of over 4 inches, and that gives us a yearly surplus of over 12.25 inches of rainfall. So once again, too much rain. We still have more rain on the way for tonight, and it looks like all weekend long. George?
Thanks, John. So as the severe weather continues across the CSRA, we'll be here on the inside tracking it on our WJBF Live Viper 6, and you can also watch it on our website, WJBF.com. Brad?
George, thank you. Now, the impact of all this rain can be seen just about everywhere in the CSRA. Of course, the Savannah River is out of its banks as the Corps of Engineers continues to release huge volumes of water downstream from Lake Thurmond. This increases the fear of flooding and the worry of how long it's going to go on. WJBF News Channel 6's George Eskel is here to tell us it's not going away anytime soon.
The city of Augusta is literally here in the second row of dealing with this swollen Savannah River. Today, the Corps of Engineers met with city officials to tell them that this show is going to go on. What's normally dry land at Goodale Landing on the river is now only good for the ducks. Paul Cook has lived here 20 years and says the river is really expanded.
I've never seen it this high. I think some of our neighbors that were here before I was saw it something higher than that. I believe around 1990 or somewhere along in there.
Are you?
No, I haven't seen it that high yet.
With the high water, Augusta leaders sat down with the Corps of Engineers to get a briefing on what they can expect on the river in the coming days. The word is, don't expect any major changes because high releases from the dams will continue for weeks.
There's only one way out, and so it's all got to come through Augusta. And so that's why it's going to take so long.
And then what is Savannah 8 weeks?
No, we're probably 3 weeks, and if it continues to rain, it could extend as much as 8 weeks.
So the river will be running high for the next several weeks, and when the river is high, it blocks the city's many creeks and streams from draining normally.
That's where our next problem is going to be, is actually our creeks and streams and the canal. Those are the areas we need to watch and make sure that we're not flooding from the inside.
Butler Creek is up, Ray's Creek is up, and so what we're doing is meeting, discussing, putting plans together on how we will address these areas, make sure that citizens are protected.
And it looks like this will be a project that will take weeks.
If you are within 3 feet vertical of water right now, you need to have a plan. Sometime in the next month, you could very easily be looking at moving out.
So weeks, maybe even months, the city is going to be dealing with the potential for extensive flooding. But just how bad it could be will depend on one major factor, the rain. In Augusta, George Eskel, WJBF News Channel 6.
The overflowing river has knocked a popular Augusta recreation spot out of commission. Lock and Dam Park is closed, the entrance barricaded to keep the public away. And there's even too much water for boats. The nearby boat ramp and parking lots flooded. It's also off limits. Recreation officials say it is just too unsafe to let people in.
The water comes up suddenly, someone's going to get in trouble. So we have the park closed, probably be closed for several weeks actually, because my understanding is the water is going to be at this level for quite a while.
And that is creating another problem at Lock and Dam Park. The city rented out some of the pavilions and picnic areas. The people in charge say that the folks who have rented them will be in line for refunds, but will need to make other arrangements.
Well, it's even too wet for Finnessy Swamp. Yeah, the city's put up the levee barriers on Butler Creek, and that's flooding the swamp. It's not unusual to see high water there, but it's the first time it's topped the pedestrian boardwalk, you see. Something those working there say they've never seen. The park is open for employees, but the road leading into it is closed, so the public is being kept away. Well, all the areas affected most by flood damage include some parts of Columbia County, that's for sure. Rain falling heavily there all month long in June and into July now. It's been tough to maintain things. We've had reports of pools caving in at the Marymont subdivision in Martinez, sinkholes in Evans. News Channel 6's Courtney Elledge live out there with more. Courtney?
Hey, Brad. Well, as George said, it is actually a beautiful night here, but I think it is safe to say the last month has not been the case. In fact, emergency workers here at the Columbia County Government Complex have been working around the clock both on the streets and inside their offices to keep families safe and do all they can in this situation. But one man hurt the most is actually a wounded veteran. And just 48 hours ago, Brad, a sinkhole formed in his front yard, causing a massive surge of water to enter his home that he's had for 40 years. And he says all that's remaining now are the memories, and half of his belongings are gone.
Here, darling, I'll put it right here.
The past 48 hours have been a nightmare for one Columbia County family.
It breaks my heart, and there's really nothing you can do but help.
This family is left with no choice but to pack what's salvageable of their belongings. Because of the recent flooding, their family home of 40 years is ruined by Mother Nature.
But at that time when it collapsed, the water started coming up fast, and I started beating foot to the front door.
So fast it put Edward Udell and his family in danger.
The water started rising so fast, the family says they had to evacuate through this window in order to get to higher and safe grounds.
As a wounded veteran, Udell says says he does not want people to feel sorry for him. He's not asking for help. He only wants the county to update their 20-year-old pipe systems by his house. He says if they would have done so, this would have never happened.
And when they widened the 4 lanes, they didn't upgrade anything. So now we've got all the extra water coming through here. And all the property owners that are on this drainage ditch line all the way down to the lake, they suffer.
Edward Udell does have flood insurance. However, it does not cover everything he needs. He says FEMA evaluated his home with having $45,000 worth of damage. What's worse, some of his items are irreplaceable, like his deceased son's belongings. His sadness and loss is attracting help from neighbors.
I'll do it any day. And for the viewers out there, you know, if you can help, help. You know, I know he's not the only one that's, in a flood victim right now. There's so many out there.
The Udell family has no choice but to find a new home. In the meantime, they say they will cherish each memory.
The Udell family did tell me they are going to try to donate some of their items to local Goodwills in order to help some families who may be in a similar situation. Live here at the Columbia County Government Complex, I'm Courtney Elledge. Back to you guys.
The flooding has people coming out in droves to document the spectacle with their cameras, but as Barclay Bishop reports, these pictures could do a lot more than just populate your photo album.
We're here in North Augusta at Hammond's Ferry on the Greenway, where they put a post in here on the sidewalk to kind of indicate to you just how high this water got at one point. You can tell it's gone down, bringing more people out to take pictures and document history, something that might be more important than you think.
I thought I'd step in here, and as I was going down the river, I was just going down to check our dock out.
But Lee Wetherington had to check this out first, floating right on into the flooded Greenway in Hammond's Ferry. But he wasn't alone. Folks were coming from all over to snap a picture.
1990 was the last time it had been this time. We've had such a drought. This is such a change. It's kind of fascinating to see, how much water can come down the river.
At the Augusta Riverfront Marina, it was no different.
When a historic event happens in a city or a town, the best thing that you can do is preserve it by either pictures or video or newscasts.
It's good for the history books, but also for prevention of devastation should this ever happen again.
Take a picture from the exact same spot once every couple of days. We want to know what time, we want to know the location, and we want the picture. Please send it. You can put it on our Facebook page.
This river came into these homes here, and while people are taking pictures of the history that's being made all around the CSRA, this family's just trying to stay dry after the flooding.
Army Corps tells me everything's going to be okay. It's not going to get any higher than it's gotten.
Just a few minutes later, the homeowner managed to make the great escape.
Been down here for 5 years and owned this land for like 10, and we've never had anything like this. So I think this is a 100-year deal, so I'm good with this.
100 years? Maybe, maybe not. But one thing's for sure, it's history right now, something many will never forget. Kayaking on the Greenway, is this history for you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I ride the bike on the Greenway a lot, but first time I ever kayaked on the Greenway.
Now, eventually this rainwater will recede, but it's still important to take pictures because you never know when Mother Nature will strike again. Reporting in North Augusta, Barclay Bishop, WJBF News Channel 6.
Well, the flooded Savannah is doing one big thing, drawing a big crowd. Riverwalk packed with people coming to check out the flooding. The amphitheater, of course, has high water there. The lower levels shut down until further notice, but plenty of room up top for people to check out the spectacle.
13 years, and I've never seen the river like this in the 13 years. Of course, it's been dry those 13 years, but it's amazing. I don't know how high the level is right now, but I figure it must be 8 or 10 feet.
One of the visitors tells us there's just something neat about seeing all that flooding. They don't want to be in it, but they like looking at it. What should we do to make sure we're ready, whatever the weather brings?
Columbia County's Pam Tucker offers this advice. Consider flood insurance. Even if your property is not on the FEMA flood map, it can still flood if we get enough rain.
Don't give mosquitoes a place to breed. Get rid of standing water around your home every day.
Have an emergency kit of supplies ready with things like food, water, and important documents.
Get a NOAA alert radio for your home. It gives you watches and warnings.
Identify a safe room in your home where you and your family can seek shelter.
We have all this advice and more on our website, WJBF.com.
Our Team 6 coverage continues after a quick break, including a look at what the wet weather's doing to a local street, stretch of pavement that's going from bad to worse.
And what to look for if you're headed out to the Savannah Rapids this weekend, an area you might want to avoid.
An update now about a man missing in Langley Pond. The search has been called off. Authorities say the body of Byron Coleman was found early this morning. Divers have been looking for Coleman since Wednesday afternoon. He disappeared while he was swimming.
Well, there's Mims Road right there, really feeling the effects of the waters lately. Hepzibah residents taking a big hit as they try to use that roadway. Mims is just off Highway 25. It's been shut down because of that huge sinkhole and washout that you see there. There's a gas and water line right underneath it, and that is making things really dangerous for people who live nearby.
It's amazing. You walk up and see something like this, and your mind really don't let you realize what the power nature has to offer till you see it happen.
Richmond County engineering team was out there today. They say they don't have any idea how long it'll take to fix Mims because the water's hampering their efforts.
Rain can be a great thing when it comes to helping our gardens grow.
Yeah, but moderation is not on Mother Nature's mind these days, and growers are feeling the impact. That and your live Viper 6 forecast next.
Now weather coverage you can count on. WJBF Live Viper 6.
A staple for one North Augusta neighborhood is affected by the recent rain. It's actually hurting crops at Manuel's Blue Clay Farm in Hammond's Ferry. While they need water to grow, obviously, even they can receive too much. The garden keeper says if it stays this way, production will slow down because the ground is too saturated to plant anything new. Too much of a good thing. About 6 weeks worth of too much of this rain. It all began around June 1st and it hasn't stopped since. Take a look at today's stats. High temperature hit 85 degrees, had a morning low of 71, and picked up a ½ inch of rain today at Augusta's Bush Field. And as far as the forecast for tonight, well, look forward to partly cloudy skies. There will be an opportunity for showers and thunderstorms, especially over our northern counties. We'll check that in a second on our Viper. Temps will be in the 70s and the winds will be calm. Tomorrow, much like the past many days, we'll start off cloudy and relatively dry, 80 at noon, then showers and thunderstorms by the afternoon, a high temp of 86. WJBF Live Viper 6 current situation. Dry over much of the CSRA after torrential rains yesterday in the metro area and over our southern counties overnight. Some folks reporting 8 to 10 inches in Barnwell, Allendale, Bamberg counties, 4 and 5 inches in the metro area. Dry now, but look to the north. Showers and thunderstorms right along I-85 from Spartanburg to Greenville, stretching all the way to Atlanta. And these thunderstorms are dropping off to the south and southwest very slowly. Some are severe, have a severe thunderstorm warning in Spartanburg County. So those of you in McCormick, Lincolnton, and Wilkes County, Washington Wilkes, watch out as these drop your way, producing some heavy rainfall. Give them a good hour or so and you should start to see some rainfall across your northern counties. Here's a look now at our WJBF forecast page as we head towards tomorrow. Started off slow, then showers and thunderstorms kicking off during the afternoon hours. Pretty much the same story as we head towards this coming Sunday. But here's the good news. We're looking for a drying trend as we head towards Monday and Tuesday of next week. So showers and thunderstorms Saturday and Sunday afternoon. Rain chances diminish on Monday. And look at Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Mostly sunny with high temps in the low 90s. That's going to feel and look real good.
Thank you, George.
Well, the wet weather may bring out some unwelcome visitors.
What to look out for even if you're not getting into the water this weekend.
But first, the road to Augusta National passes through the first tee, drive, chip, and putt in sports.
Check 1, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I got it.
Now, sports coverage you can count on.
As the Peach Jam continues at Riverview Park, one local name is noticeably absent. Aquinas star Ahmed Hill and the Southern Stampede failed to qualify for the EYBL Finals, but Hill is still getting his chance to shine in front of college coaches at the Elite Youth Invitational. This afternoon at Payne College, Hill scored a game-high 19 points in front of coaches like Tom Crean of Indiana and Georgia's Mark Fox. He led the Stampede to a 26-point win in pool play. Through 3 games so far this week, Hill is impressed against lesser competition, but he says he'd much rather be playing down the road in North Augusta.
It's kind of harder because they're not to the level of competition, so sometimes we play down to the competition, but it's pretty good. We know that we're supposed to be in the Peach Jam, so we try to come out here and we're going to try to win this and try to prove to everybody that we really belong in the Peach Jam this year.
Hill says he's still waiting on a few expected offers to come in. He's going to take a few visits this month. He says he wants to make a decision before basketball season starts. Where most golfers only dream of playing at Augusta National, next April, a handful of youthful prodigies from around the nation will get the opportunity to drive the hollowed links before they're even old enough to drive a car. This morning, First Tee of Augusta hosted 2 local qualifiers for the first annual Drive, Chip, and Putt contest, with top performers advancing to regionals in Atlanta. That's coming in early August. 320 kids from around the region turned out for the event for a shot to turn their dreams into realities. Results still trickling in from that thing. Former Augusta State golfer Patrick Reed has made 6 of 7 cuts on the PGA Tour, including 2 top 20 finishes in his last 4 events. But this weekend at the John Deere Classic, Reed trying to add the first win of his young professional career. The Texas native, along with his wife and caddy Justine, just dominating the course on Friday. On the 5th hole here, his 14th. How about the nice curling birdie putt? Little toilet bowl action there on the cup drop for his 6th birdie of the day. Then his approach on 6. This one's going to spin back to the cup. Just a fantastic shot. That's his 7th birdie on the day. Reed went to the clubhouse with a 3-stroke lead at 12 under. He had a 63, a cool 63. He's currently in a tie for first with 3 other guys. Going to be fun to watch him this weekend, though.
Sure is.
Thank you so much. Tonight at 11 on News Channel 6.
Well, tonight at 11 on News Channel 6, our coverage of the wet weather continues. George going to track it on the Viper to find out what the weekend holds as we try to make our outdoor plans.
We'll see you here at 11. In the meantime, heavy rain means dangerous conditions in the water.
And it's bringing out some unlikely visitors. We do have that coverage for you.
A WJBF Live Viper 6 showing some showers and thunderstorms in the upstate of South Carolina, northeastern Georgia, slowly drifting our way. So McCormick, Lincoln, Wilkes counties, keep an eye to the north. Some of those storms are putting down some heavy rainfall.
And keep an eye on this. Rising water can make it dangerous if you like to be around the water.
Yeah, especially at Savannah Rapids, where the water is so high, they say snakes are coming out of the water and hanging out in trees. Copperheads, no less. Be careful.
That's our report for now. We'll see you again at 11.
Stay dry this weekend. Good night.
Good night.